Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. One night everything changed. Need support. My so and I have been together for 4 years. We are both airline pilots. We are engaged and the wedding is in a few months. We were looking at buying a house and actively trying to have a child together with no success. She often says she loves our life together up until today. Yesterday my fiancé confessed she has been cheating on me for the last 6 months with a coworker. She confronted me crying hysterically and fully admitted what she had done, that she had ducked up royally and wanted me to ask her any questions about the infidelity. So back in December she worked with this guy that she connected with whom I've met before. She talked fondly of him then and I was concerned that this might be a problem in the future. This is a coworker that lives on the other side of the country and that she rarely sees at work. I noticed she was hanging out with him every time she passed through his city and I confronted her directly in February about it. She lied, said nothing to worry about, they connected as friends etc. A few months later she asked if it was okay if she took a road trip with this guy, which I told her it was not okay and that even thinking about it was improper, so she did not go. She once invited him over with other friends and I met him. Maybe she wanted me to be less suspicious if I knew the guy. The whole night he was trying to win me over, which I wasn't game for as I had my suspicions. Fast forward, she admitted to talking to him a bunch on the phone and they had sporadically had sex 5 times over the last 6 months ending last week. I asked why tell me now, she felt guilty and could not in good conscience say I do without me knowing about her indiscretion. He is leaving his wife now but she says doesn't want to be with him, she wants to put in the work, cut him out completely and have a life with me. I asked why she felt the need to do it. We spent the entirety of COVID living together and hanging out every day. Over time she felt I was less interested in her and she felt disconnected. I didn't initiate sex anymore. She has routinely turned me down early in the relationship, for which I stopped trying, so we had it when she wanted it. She never blamed me through this ordeal. She has accepted all the blame, but I do know I am no saint. It takes 2 to tango in a relationship and we started to drift apart. I stopped organizing for us to do things and she felt like she was dragging me to do stuff. In the spring we talked about our problems and I have been actively trying to do more and initiate more activities for us to do together. I was trying. She stayed in the guest room last night and cried till 1 a.m. dry heaving all night. I was awoken this morning by the same thing at 6 a.m. Like anyone in his situation, I am deeply hurt, emotionally confused and feeling lost. This wound is deep and very fresh. I've been cheated on once before, which she knew, and she has been cheated on before. I obviously have strong feelings for her, but I do know cheating is a choice and lying/deception is a choice. Up until this point she has always been a very honest person, loving, caring and during this time very remorseful. If we do try to work it out, I feel like she will put in the work, but I don't know how I will feel in the future. I've definitely been going through all the emotional escape mechanisms, not denial, to cope with this news, and I know I'm not in the right mindset to make good decisions. Edit 1, so the other guy apparently felt more feelings for my fiancé than for his wife, so he left her and asked to be with fiancé. She hasn't said it, but I'm sure he threatened to tell me when she rebuffed him. What a mess. Edit 2. Thank you for all the replies and support. It does mean a lot to me. I had her write down the entire timeline on how and where it all happened. She has expressed her willingness to quit aviation if it means being together. I still need time to heal and to have a clear mind. The wedding will be called off and obviously the sex has stopped. I think I need to move out and reevaluate my situation with a clear head. Man, emotions suck. Edit 3. She started the EA in December shortly after she met the guy. The PA started in January. I noticed something weird in February and confronted her about it. Was assured he's just a friend blah blah blah. Told her I didn't like their friendship and that if she isn't careful it might lead to something more. In May I confronted her again and told her I didn't want her seeing him again, then continued to see him after she agreed not to. Man, this is so bad. Edit 4. So I've only seen the last 2 days of messages between the WW and AP due to the rest being on Snapchat. From what I saw, she told him she was done with it all, done with him, and she was going to tell me. There were about 25 more messages of him being pissed about ghosting, asking if she told me because he was going to tell his partner at the same time. I have super limited trustworthy info. Her telling it and writing in a timeline, she says she was slowly built up with him taking an interest in her where I was absent and didn't seem to want her or take an interest in her. We obviously had issues going both ways and did not communicate at all. Once she had slept with him a few times, she said she felt obligated to continue because she didn't want her life with me to blow up and risk having him tell me or his wife. I told her I would leave her if she ever cheated. She knew the consequences from the beginning. Edit 5. Man, 2 days after her last encounter with the AP, she invited me out to a friend's makeup wedding shower barbecue that she was attending. Being the good BF, I dropped by after work, which she was super happy I came. Why TF would she do that? New update. Dude, there's no coming back from this. When cheaters cheat, they actively make a choice to forsake everything that is supposed to matter to them, and that entirely includes their souls. Nothing matters to them than their own self-gratification. She knew the risks. She knew what lies to tell you. And in those 6 months, she didn't stop to think about you. Not once. Those tears of hers aren't for you. They're for her AP. Most likely, her confessions to you weren't out of guilt. Her AP probably broke things off with her or was going to tell you, and that propelled her to finally desperately confess. Make no mistake, my friend, she lied to you for 6 months. What would have happened if it was 6 years? And while married? With kids? This is why communication is vital to every relationship. Do you really want to have a chance having a future with this woman? If you decide for reconciliation, make her earn every penny of it. She has to put in the bulk of the work. Otherwise, if it can't be done, leave her and save yourself and heal your pain. Don't let 4 years become 40 wasted. Choose wisely, my friend. And good luck. Her AP probably broke things off with her or was going to tell you, and that propelled her to finally desperately confess. That's my thinking, that the timing of her confession and the AP leaving his wife is related. Also read the post above several times, especially those tears of hers aren't for you. They're for her AP. Make her give you a written detailed timeline. Leaving anything out means you walk when you find out. Trickle truth is pain stretched over months and years with more discoveries, resetting out to zero every time. You don't want that. Research regret versus remorse, and make sure you know which one you are getting. Have her read you the timeline. Hearing it will hurt a lot. But it will show her the impact of her repeated decision to lie and betray you over the past 6 months, and may give you some clarity on if you want to try and go forward together or move on. Trickle truth is pain stretched over months and years with more discoveries, resetting out to zero every time. You don't want that. Exactly this. She definitely didn't tell him the whole truth, to which potentially her AP was going to expose. She probably even begged for AP not to dump her. My take was that his wife found out and was going to tell you. She confessed to beating her to the punch. Bold. It's over, man. Sorry. Edit 1 supports that point of view. She wanted to control the narrative, maybe not so much with OPAs with her family, friends, and colleagues. A conversation with the OBS might help OP fill in some blanks. Absolutely. Talk to OBS. It's even possible that AP is lying and OBS knows nothing. Both wayward, and you have no way of verifying what he's said is the truth even. AP may just be testing the waters to see if wayward will commit to him before he does anything, or divorcing for an entirely separate reason, possibly another affair. The point, OP, is that until you get verification that you just don't know, you certainly should not take wayward's word for it. Please bear in mind that this might not have been her only affair or ONS. It's just the one that came home to roost. She's living in a fantasy life with people that have a high disposable income in hotels at exotic locations. This, I'll bet AP's wife knows, and your fiancé is trying to get in front of her telling you. Might be worth it to contact AP's wife and see how much truth you got in her confession. Women seem to be better at sniffing out more of the truth for some reason. This here, pointing finger, pointing finger, pointing finger. The whole he's leaving his wife is more likely wife is kicking his cheating ass out with no place to land. Yepers. Cheaters who are married rarely leave their spouses. It usually only happens when both are married and double for APS and WS. When one person isn't married, I feel like the married AP has zero intentions of going through a divorce. I remember Karine Steffens saying in her book something along the lines of, "At first I laughed at her, Ja Rule's wife, when seeing the magazine spread about them, Ja talking about how much she loved her, etc. Then I realized I was temporary, she was permanent. Who's really winning here?" And sure enough, Ja Rule never left his wife for any of those women. To this day they are still married. Same with Snoop Dogg and his wife. I think the tears are for herself. She wants the up and is losing him and can't do anything about it. It's a possibility. But more likely those tears are for the reality that either her AP dumped her after getting bored with her, got threatened by his OBS, or knowing that her future with OP is in the toilet. But all of those are all about herself. Exactly this. Which proves she never loved OP. This is such valuable wisdom that I needed to hear for my own sanity and situation. Thank you immensely for sharing your thoughts and perspective. What would burn me is all the dirty sex she was having behind your back. And then comes to you a crying mess. With women, the cheating is about sin, sex and passion. There's no coming back from this. You're a pilot, dude. There is a great life in front of you. There's gonna be a new partner at some point down the line for you, and you're going to get a big buzz when you meet her. It'll be fun. It'll be hot, it'll be real, and you won't live in that relationship shrouded in fear and resentment. In addition, this is a real, grand opportunity for you to take a look at yourself. What have you been worried about internally? Changes you've wanted to make? Trauma you've wanted to address? This is a real opportunity to dig deep and do some of the work you've always wanted/needed. Get yourself a male shrink. Walk in and say, "I just went through the ringer and I want to focus on the part of the situation I have the power to improve, myself." This is a major opportunity for personal growth. Do the work, and you'll come out of this situation in terre femme. Don't fall for your former fiancé's femme fatale bullshit. You have an opportunity to heal. Get an apartment in another city along one of your routes. Establish some independence. Pilot. OMG. You'll be finding a new partner when you're ready. Cut your losses, Jack. Learn a lesson. Save yourself. My friend, you speak the truth. And after seeing Ops updates, especially Edit 4, she literally screwed away any chance of reconciliation. It's time for him to just leave her behind and let her suffer from her own failures alone. Update, one night everything changed. Update continued from D-Day +6. So I told her from day one that if she cheated on me that I would leave her, and that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm in the process of moving out and hopefully this week I'll sign a year lease on a sick waterfront condo. She has taken upon herself to stay at her best friend's place until I get my departure sorted out. Up until a few days ago she was trying to come by after asking to talk and be close to me because she is afraid of losing me. We did more in the last week than we really did the whole relationship, but it doesn't excuse her actions. I have given her no direction on how to handle this situation even after she has asked me what to do. So far she has confessed to the affair, given a fairly accurate timeline with details that paints her in a poor light. Of the info I know for a fact and fact-checked, she has been truthful so far and I have not caught her in a lie. She has unconditionally accepted responsibility for her poor actions, accepts her punishment and any decision I come to. She has shown grief, regret and is showing signs of true remorse constructive. She has explained to her family what she has done, informed all wedding guests that she has ducked up and I left her for it. She has incurred all outstanding costs of the cancelled wedding. Recognized she has destroyed a relationship, a marriage and a family. She has shown me a confirmation of being signed up for a therapist, shared her constant phone location and blocked all forms of communication with the AP. She has expressed she is ashamed of the person she has become and she doesn't want to be that person. She asked no questions when I asked for screenshots of AP's last messages/missed calls or about when the AP's wife reached out to me, which I sent the screens to as proof he was full of shit. All these things I have never hinted, asked or demanded of her. This was all thought of and initiated by the WW. The AP's wife and I had a half-hour phone call and I filled her in on all the info I had. That poor woman. My situation is ducked but hers is far worse. I have reached out to a lot of my close friends for support and guidance and the show of support has been very uplifting. I'm embracing all the hurt feelings when I get triggered by things while packing. It has helped immensely. I have shared to WW the book How to Help a Partner Heal After an Affair and she has taken upon herself to fully read it the same day I shared it. Her attitude about giving me space has changed and affirms she is committed to winning me back and doing whatever it takes. Only time will tell if she has the constitution to keep it up. That will be her true test if she is remorseful and willing to improve. I have no idea what I'm going to do down the road, all I can do is take it day by day. Edit 1. This is gonna kill any sympathy for my story, but we are complicated and flawed creatures trying to figure life out. Long ago I was the other guy and halfway through flirting with the girl I knew she had a BF and continued anyways. After the first night it progressed from an EA to a PA. We were both so ashamed of ourselves we never talked again. I vowed to never do that again. If I can change from it I hope she can too. Based on our history, how it blindsided everyone I know, and her long-term willingness to fix it, she seems to have been misguided in her actions. I think deep down she is a good person but is flawed. This is my struggle. Dude. Sounds like you covered all the bases and are handling it the best you can. Yep. Let her go. Maybe she can fix herself for the next person. But how she is built? I doubt it. At least you are out. When they show you who they really are, believe them. Stay friends if you want. But I'd recommend North Carolina for a good chunk of time, for you to get your head on completely straight, and for her to actually do the work she needs to do to become a less shitty person. Time is the most precious commodity we have, so investing and or wasting it on someone who has hurt you so doesn't seem like strong advice. But you do you. Good luck on whichever avenue you choose. It's not your fault you're here. But damn if it's not your responsibility to fortify and protect you from further abuse. From his or any other person. Similar to finding a leak in your roof during a heavy downpour. Not your fault, but it will be if you don't fix it before the next storm. Just because your house might be getting a tad more roomy, does not mean you should neglect it. In hindsight, if she was a stronger person she would have left me based on how our relationship was going. I've brought that up to her. Regardless of the next relationship I won't be asleep at the wheel. You don't think if she was stronger she would have communicated better with you instead of leaving? Probably both. Or a million other things. What did she say when you said if you weren't happy you should have left or at minimum communicate about your feelings? She said she took the easy way out of her problems. Didn't want to face the hard truths. Or just deluded herself. I think that's the thing, though. She needs to want to grow for herself, not for you. Her self-betterment needs to be about that bettering herself. If you're the focal point it just becomes a game of keeping you as happy as possible, rather than finding a better woman within herself. I think North Carolina for several months is probably for the best. Just don't wait on her at that time. I won't. Reconciliation is possible if you both decide that's what you want. She has to face she turned into a person she would hate in any other instant. It sounds like she has realized that and is taking the steps to better herself, but it's early still. I do think space and time apart is needed. Have some joint counseling to figure out if you both want the same things and to help you with communication skills. I will say don't rush any decisions until you have processed the trauma. Do you need the new big place right away kind of thing? Yes, stop the wedding and all that. If you decide to reconcile, it's a 2 to 5 year journey to normalcy. A difficult factor is your job and the trust it takes being apart so much, so think long and hard before deciding. I don't think her giving up aviation is the answer, but is it possible that they never work together if she asks HR or something? Unless he switches bases, it is fairly easy to avoid people. I've been at the company for 6 years and there are still thousands of people who I haven't met but have been here for as long or longer. How will you truly know that she is avoiding him? She could just get a burner phone or use apps that actually hid the communication from your cell provider as well. If you can avoid people so easily, why did she not do that after the first sex instance? She went back. She tried to introduce you guys. She was thinking of replacing you and you were oblivious. If you get back with her, get a prenuptial contract. Every child born should come with paternity included. What type of marriage will that be? There probably won't be a ceremony. Everyone knows. A clean break is probably the only tenable solution. I agree, she was monkey branching. She had to have options for the predicament she was in. She had to have thought about it somewhere on that timeline. Luckily we all know. Month 1 after D-Day is the scramble to stay together. Month 2 is depression and realization. Month 3 is when you finally realize just how easy these cheaters can and will replace you. Normally the cheaters "I am sorry and will do anything to fix this" turns to "you have to get over this." It seems Op is thinking of giving it another go. Ouch. But I get it. Op did say he was getting a new condo, so maybe still leaning towards getting out. Still 4 years, minus 6 months for the drama, isn't that long a relationship? It's a young relationship. I can't imagine it means all that much to the WS considering that she overtly pursued a PA relationship with AP right from the beginning. I would say she is just a ball of guilt and regret right now, and her actions, though commendable, is to rid herself of this massive guilt and pain. When she is settled and comes round to her senses, she will probably want a fresh start herself, and then the drama starts up again. The thing people don't realize is that a relationship after cheating can't be the same. Some stuff is gone forever, untainted love, blind trust, and you will never forget the disrespect, the lies, the scheming, the betrayal, etc. I realized it myself after 8 months, and I realized that I didn't want that. A relationship, a partner, love, etc. isn't supposed to make you feel bad. If you think about it rationally and ask yourself, am I happy that I met this person? And the answer is no, then it's over. For reconciliation you have to accept that you will never have an untainted love, you will never be able to trust her 100%, you will never forget what she did to you. Swallowing that pill is the toughest part. Most people can't, and it's normal. Having good communication, making some efforts to improve the relationship and maintain it, etc. That is the easy part. I couldn't even open the pill bottle on that one. Fair, most people know they can't, so they don't even try, which is smart. Hopefully in 5 weeks my divorce will be finalized. Just really hurts to watch her fight for nothing. Let her do it, after you also fought for a relationship you didn't even know was over. Hopefully you can get rid of her fast enough and move on. For reconciliation you have to accept that you will never have an untainted love, you will never be able to trust her 100%, you will never forget what she did to you. Not only this, but you will never be 100% sure that under the right conditions she wouldn't do it again. Deacon. 100% agreed. Losing those pieces is the hardest part. At least you know who she is, eyes wide open. She wants to flaunt her lovers openly in front of you so you can all be friends. She has no issues blowing up the lives of young mothers and young children if she wants to sleep with their husbands/dads. If you can accept that, that's cool. I'm not going to lie, kids will have a rough time having this person for a mother and the damage that will do. Really think twice if you want to do that to your kids. You're handling this perfectly. But to be fair, she is also coming clean perfectly. Very seldom do WSs come clean on their own. And she told wedding guests the truth and paid for all the wedding fees. That's rare. I believe her remorse to be real. However, I think a month of no contact is needed. She needs to see her therapist at least 4 times while not talking to you. If you want, have coffee then. But if anything, she's not your fiancé. She's at best 2 FWB and she needs to accept that out loud. Go slow. If you think you might want her to court you one day, think twice before earnesses. But now she needs to find out how she could betray the man she loves. Does she see you as a solid plan B? A good provider? Safe? Was AP a better lover? What did she say to AP about you? Yes, they talked about you. She needs to find out in therapy. Agree no contact until at least 1 month or 4 to 5 therapist visits. But I do believe her to be remorseful. Just found out. Well said. These have been my thoughts as well. If she hasn't done even a few of those things, this wouldn't even be a discussion. Actually seeing the therapist 5 times is doing something. And yes, I'd require a STD screening from her if she wants to talk. I've mentioned that to her. We will see if she does it. Not mention, you demand it. I'd suggest not bringing it up again. If she doesn't do that on her own after you mentioned it, will tell you volumes of her mindset. But dude, no sex until that comes back. Be strong. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.